Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new racer from Ideafly. Some days ago I reviewed the excellent AP machine, the Mars 350, including a 2-axis gimbal. Today will be a more racer, the F210, so as the reference name is synonym, it's a 210mm brushless racer. So it's including a SP Racing S3 board with 10 degrees of freedom, so it means that it's including a compass and a barometers. It's also including some 18 ampere ESC from DJI. I don't know if they are supporting yet 4S battery voltage. You have also a small OSD information associated with a 200 milliwatts video transmitter, only a 30 channel, so no, the race band is not supported. And you have also, as well with the transmitter, a small FPV monitors. Let's discover the bundle. Here is the content of the whole packaging. So first of all, here is the quadcopter. First thing, it's everything is in carbon. So let's make a conductivity test. So it seems that you have a very strong lower plate welcoming the arms. So I will make perform a conductivity test on all the different plates. Let's check the lower structure. You can see it's conducting electricity. So real carbon, the same for the camera plate and the same for the upper plate. Okay, that's good. So it's a real 3K carbon. I can give you the information about the thickness of each element. So for example, the lower plate is a 3mm, pretty strong. The upper is only 150, okay, and the same for the camera, I guess. Okay, so it's already not bad. First, you can notice that the FPV camera can be tilted, okay, with a very good, almost 45 degrees in positive angle, so very compatible with aggressive lights. That's a good point. Motors are some 2204 type, announced to be 2003 kV, okay, and this thread, motor thread, is, I guess, is conventional. Probably, certainly, I will measure that to a 5mm, okay. Yes. So no problem. You can install by default the two type of props provided. So some 5-inch, okay, provided, and the big question is these 6-inch props are supported. I don't think so. I think it will touch the lateral side. Okay, so it's a problem. But you have also in the bundle some 3-blade if you need maybe more thrust. Okay, so it will draw, of course, by consequence, more current. You have some zip ties. I guess is to secure the 4 ESC, only actually taped with double side tape. Okay, so I strongly advise to secure the fixing of each ESC by installing the 4 small zip ties. On the rear side, you can find the 32 channel video transmitter with ARP-ECMA connector. It's given a linear dipole antenna you have to attach. So I guess connector and the video transmitter, at least the video transmitter connector, is well protected by the lower part. You have to attach the antenna. Okay, and it's strange because they mismatch with the cloverleaf antenna, the FPV screen. So you have a linear working with a circular. Okay, so in theory you have 3 dB of loss by this mismatching in terms of polarization. Given you have also a 3S LiPo or 1500 milliamps rated with 30 CS discharge rate. For example, I can give you the information of the weight and the dimension of this battery if you are looking for some alternatives. So the original weight is 120 gram, 121, okay, in approximation, and the exact dimension is 90, okay, by 35 by 20, so it's more or less a conventional. So you have to install it on the via the pre-installed Velcro strap. That's pretty cool. Okay, and the battery is blocked by the camera mount, so you can really easily attach and fix it. That's no problem. On the lateral side, the left side to be more precise, you can find a micro USB port associated with the SP Racing F3 board. Okay, and close or nearby to it a lot of different ports, probably some serial port around. Okay, on the other side nothing. The FC is mounted on this standoff. Okay, classic nylon standoff. So no problem to install, for example, on top a Morbius Rencan HD. It will support, no problem for that. That's a good point. Motors are protected with this plastic element, plastic motor pod. Is you also be useful as a motor landing gears. Okay, so it's quite robust. It's a strong plastic, so it's not too tall. So I think it will resist pretty well versus crash. The total weight of the installation, or minor the props, is around 430 grams, and if I had, for example, the weight of the 3-blade one, you reach something like 445 grams. Okay, so it's for a 210 milliwatts, it's in the average. So the big question, are the ESC supporting 4S? It's an open question. I will check if the ESC are shown in Bailey suite, but in fact is not. So it's probably associated with a very old firmware. Not sure you can flash them very easily, except maybe by a sticker. It would be under investigation. So I don't have any reference about the FPV cam, but I hope it's probably a FPV camera. I don't have the exact TVL number associated with. So in few instants I will test the FPV ring. So let's talk about the FPV monitor. It's a 4.3 inch model. It's an FXT technology model. I recognize them. So you have to charge them by the micro USB port on the right side. Turn it, and when you turn on them, you have directly the white snow. That's a good sign. So you have the battery, remaining battery of the built-in FPV monitors, and if you press the middle one here, menu here, usually you arrive to the Chinese menu. So to turn into English, you have to press the M button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you arrive, and 2 times the plus. 1, 2, and you turn everything into English. Okay, that's pretty cool. So what you can set, for example, the brightness, the contrast, the color, the mode between 16:9 or 4:13, the language, and reset to factory settings. I like this monitor because first of all it's a matte screen, visible, okay, you have a sunshade, and the brightness is really good for a cheap FPV screen, so no problem at all to see it in strong daylight. You have a Nave, I don't know if it's a Nave in, Nave out, probably in Nave in. Okay, so when you charge this FPV monitor, you have a red LEDs appearing. Okay, so it's this model come with an AC connector. Okay, so they mixed also the type of antenna connector. Like this, it's ACME connector. So let's have a look to the radio now. The chassis is clear. It's a Fly Sky model rebranded by Ideafly. Okay, you have two-way switch like this and two three-way one. That's cool, as well as 2 ports. You need 4 AA batteries, any image battery are working, and when you long press OK, you can enter into the menu. So if I enter into the setup by pressing OK, let's check the version firmware, and it's the version 1.0, very old firmware of the Fly Sky, so it's not the best. You can flash thanks to this port a more recent firmware. There are a lot of YouTube videos to show how to proceed. Anyway, let's have a look to the default RX setting. For example, if the face-off is done, and you can see that the channel 3 is off, it means that the face-off is not tuned. Okay, and in terms of, for example, let's check the display. You have, for example, the 4 channel here. The channel, the left, completely left switch is channel 6. The switch B here is nothing else than the switch 5. Okay, and if I go down, I can see that the channel 9 is this second 3-way. The channel 10 is last 2-way, and channel 7 and 8 respectively are the 2 ports here. Okay, it can be centralized like this. So a 10 channel is seen, is pretty good. Okay, if you want to apply a different option. Okay, in terms of auxiliary channel, okay, it's done here. If you want to reassign for a clean flight, for example, you can set some stuff here. Subtrim, everything is center, and the throttle curve. And I noticed that here, this is the new normal behavior. So be aware, because in clean flight, this switch is used to select the flight mode. So maybe you have to assign another switch, okay, to for example, to tune or to configure the dual rate. It's up to you, okay. But definitively, with the more newer firmware of Fly Sky, the settings and the parameterization is much more easier. So it's maybe a drawback of this one. Such a sign, you can eventually assign the, as you can see, the idle mode is actually set to the switch B, okay, and for example you can assign better this one, okay, it's up to you. Okay, so now I will show the basic and default configuration. Since it's an SP Racing F3 board, you can tune everything from clean flight. Let's discover the default. Okay, before to configure and to have a look to the default clean flight settings, in any case, if you have to adjust some new parameter, always do it with the props off, okay, especially when you will do the ESC calibration. So actually the battery is off, okay, and I will plug the micro USB into the SP Racing F3 board, and after a couple of seconds, if you install correctly the driver for clean flight, you will have a port COM open. Here is the port COM 3, so I will connect, and I strongly advise to immediately back up the default settings. Okay, save them. Okay, save them in case you change parameters and you want to restore to have something. So let's discover you have a 10 degrees of freedom. You have the gyro accelerometer, of course, and the magnetometer and the barometers. Okay, so you can have, if you want, an altitude hold with this machine. Let's discover the port. You seem to have 3 wards installed. Okay, and well, let's have a look to the configurations. So actually, one shot 125 is turned off. I don't know yet if it's supported or not. Probably not, because it's turned off. But be aware, the board is flipped in the yaw of 90 degrees. So if you flash a new version, don't forget to rotate the board correctly. The receiver is in PWM, so okay, with a full cable connection. For the OSD, I guess the battery voltage is under surveillance, okay, is monitored, and well, in terms of features, the black box is here turned on because you have 8 MB of memory, okay. In terms of fail-safe, actually the stage 2 is turned on, and the default is to land. I'm not a great fan of it, and I will also immediately after show to check if the fail-safe behavior of this machine and try to show how to really make it efficient. Efficient, it means that if you lose your transmission, the quad have to fall immediately and not go in fly away. Let's have a look to the PIDs. The PID controller is lax flat, okay, and here is the settings. You can notice that the rolls, pitch, and yaw rates are set to 0, so should be very slow. So maybe not directly compatible with acro figures, okay. No TPA, okay, that's cool. The level strength is maybe a little bit high, especially if you want later to apply the new rewrite, okay, but here are the default settings, okay, you have to apply it. The receiver, so actually is not, if I turn on the radio, okay, so the you need to power the machine to see the sticks movement. So let's open it. Be sure to have an antenna plugged. It's very important if you don't want your video transmitter to be cooked. Okay, and when everything, you can see that everything is moving, and actually the aux2 is this one, and the aux1 is this one. This is a flight mode, okay, so be aware, because for the transmitter is also assigned more with the dual rates, so probably we have to assign something else. The other buttons are not seen, okay, so everything is good. Let's arm it. Yeah, it is possible to arm it, okay. So I will show fast the flight mode, okay, and by default when you're up you are in horizon, when you're down you are in a much more assisted flight with the barometers, and when is in this position you are in acro, okay. This is the default flight mode, okay. So I will turn off the battery right now, okay, be sure. In terms of adjustment, nothing, sensor, GPS, and motors. So it's always good to perform an NESC calibrations. So before to do that, I will finish to show all the different options and configurations. So black box, you can erase the actual log, okay, to if you want to record a full black box, and you will have to assign a switch to these features, okay. Take a couple of seconds to do that. You have 8 megabytes, okay, and sorry, okay, and let's check the version actually of the install Clean Flight. And oh wow, good news, you have the last version, so it's up to date with an SP Racing S3 port, so very fast. I forgot to mention the very important values. What was the loop time? Okay, it's set to 600, so you will have a very fast response of the machine. So I will make a small test to see if the one-shot 125 is supported. So I will turn on it, okay, and see if the ESC are supporting it. I will power the machine, okay, and check if it's still arming. Yes, so finally good news, the one-shot 125 are supporting. That's definitively a good news. So let's keep with this feature turned on, okay. So be aware with the antenna, be sure that it's always turned on. Okay, so I will stop to show the default clean flight configuration, even if I turn on the one-shot 125, and I will test now the fail-safe behavior and to propose eventually, if it's not working, how to fix it. Okay, so let's check the default behavior of the fail-safe. So I will turn on the quadcopter, turn on the radio. Okay, now it's booting with the one-shot 125. Okay, arm the quadcopter. Be sure to have the props off. Okay. And I will turn on the radio. And as you can see, it's not stopping. Okay, but so the fail-safe is not done. So I will try to see if it's possible to fix that. Okay, so there are two steps to proceed to tune the to set the fail-safe. First of all, work on the radio. Turn on the radio standalone. Press OK to enter, and press again OK to enter in the system. Press the K down to go to RX setup, and press K down to go to the fail-safe. So you have to tune the channel 3 for associated with the throttle. So press OK to enter, and press the touch down to turn on. Okay, press OK. Okay, and you have to activate to save this option by long press and cancel until you hear this treble sound. Let's check that. Press OK, and now you can see that the throttle is set to -100. So it's perfect. Okay. So now we'll have to connect to Clean Flight, plug the USB and connect to Clean Flight. So go to the fail-safe behavior, and you have to, first of all, to select the drop option, okay. And since we will reduce the flight time, so let's say this timing, so let's say 5 and 5, okay. And save and reboot the frame controlling board. Okay, so now it's down. We can disconnect. Okay, and let's check that everything is working. So I will connect the transmitter, the quadcopter. Okay, wait to boot. Arm the quadcopter. Apply and turn off. Okay, no more fly away. That's great. Okay, so let's have a look to the FPV section. First remark I noticed, here is the system to attach, well, officially to attach the FXT 4.3 FPV monitors to a transmitter. So it's a classic amount I found in different models, but it's a paradox. You can install this system on the FlySky transmitter. Okay, you can clearly understand that this system is associated to be installed with a relatively thin metal bar, or you can see that it's too large on the plastic bracket hand here, so it's not compatible. Okay? And you, as far as I understand, you can't install here. Okay, so there is a big problem I didn't understand. So I think this system is coming from the FXT default FPV mount. Okay, so it's a big problem. Okay, you will have to find a way to attach by yourself the FPV mount. Okay, but anyway, so let's have a look to the FPV monitors. So I showed a few instants ago, and with the FPV camera. The FPV camera is at 700 TBL model. Okay, according to the instruction I found. So I will turn on it, and okay, and I will turn on the quadcopter with the antenna attached, and let's have a look to the signal. So first of all, the signal is pretty good. Well, the light adaptation is relatively fast. Okay, so not so bad for X600 TVL. Even if the light sensitivity in presence of very strong light outside, you can see that my hand is still black, but here indoors is a very low light condition. So I guess the behavior will be not so bad outdoors. I don't see any OSD information, so it's assumed to have. So you have a small switch, if I'm not wrong, here, maybe associated with the OSD information. Okay, so it's also still under investigation, but out of the box you don't have any information display on the screen. Even when the camera is installed on the maximum angle, the upper carbon frame is not blocking the video signal. That's a good point. Okay, so it's assumed to have an OSD information according to the features announced in the sponsor website. So it's still under investigation. Let's discover the internal part of the Ideafly F210, and well, you need to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 X screws, then this standoff, okay, here, and you can remove the rear upper plate. One information about the video frequency selection: in fact, you can access to the tiny button through the heat shrink. So if you have on the right side of the video transmitter, you have a tiny button. So if you long press on it, you can select the band, and if you briefly press on it, you can cycle between the 8 internal frequency inside the band. So it's a way, but you don't know in which exact frequency because the LEDs is blocked by the heat shrink. So it's a way to select at least the frequency. The tiny switch below the port distribution, the flame control board, is to turn on or off the video transmitter or the FPV ring. So if you want to fly only in a lost condition, just turn the switch to the right, okay, and you will fly in lost condition without FPV. I will hand this first video dedicated to the Ideafly F210. So I strongly advise now to install the zip ties to secure the ESC installation, okay? Because I guess very fast versus time, this tape will be destroyed. Okay, so I will conclude about this Ideafly F210. Most of elements seems pretty good, very strong structure. I really like it. The design is good. You can install an HD cam without problem. The FPV cam sounds not bad with 700 TVL, relatively good light sensitivity. The video transmitter, at least the antenna connector, is well protected rear, so well protected by all the structure. You have a very fast SP Racing F3 boards with 10 degrees of freedom, so if you want you can perform some altitude hold or whatever, some barometer fly, okay, if you want. So motor are strong, a good battery with 30 of discharge rate, and well, it's promising, sounds to be a very sporty machine. Okay, so I will end this unboxing and quick analysis. I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please thumb it, and if you like my channel in general, please subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.